They can do everything. She can do. Oh, okay.
Little Libby.
There's a lot of jobs out there I want to see if women can do because I don't think that's possible.
Wait, what?
Women can do because I don't think
Like
that's
what?
possible.
Like what?
You want women in the coal mines?
Today, women comprise approximately 10 to 17% of the total mining workforce.
What? Nobody is saying women can't work. If they want to work, they can work. Who said they can't work?
You did just now. You just said that women can't have the same jobs as men. You're like, you want to see women be coal miners? You did that. What? You just did that. So Disney is doing a live action Snow White, and I could not give a shit less, to be honest. But I can't say the same for Melonie Matt Go Boom here. Famous for being banned on eating sticks of butter is one. Being banned on Twitch for saying slurs, the F slur particularly, is two. I think that she should be banned indefinitely from Twitch, but alas, and from YouTube and from everything else. So Melonie Mac, she is going to talk about Snow White's skin color in the upcoming Disney live action, apparently, because this is important for some reason. So I mean, maybe she is. Maybe I need to give her a chance, right? To explain to me why it's important that I care about Snow White's skin color. Let's see.
Disney's Snow White live action remake has been nothing short of an utter disaster. Probably the messiest, the biggiest, the biggest, messiest promotion, I don't know, time leading up to release. I mean, people thought that The Little Mermaid live action received a lot of backlash, and that was all a thing. But Snow White just continued to outpace that to a whole other.
Ariel being white had nothing to do with the story. Who gives a shit if she's black? Who cares?
Agree to the point of them even delaying the entire thing, which they should have just.
Up until recently, black people didn't have any representation in media. You know what they had? Slavery! Let them have it! It's fine! You'll live!
Scrapped it. And here's the key difference with that is Rachel Zegler's insufferable interviews, her whole attitude against anybody who is critical about what they're doing with this live action.
Yeah, who cares?
Version of the movie. And now she tells us about what they're changing. Snow White film is changing the origin of Snow White's name. It's no longer about her skin anymore, which obviously, how are you going to make this Snow White live action version about Snow White, skin white as snow, with a...
That was not important to her story. It wasn't. I remember it being important that she was underage and a man kissed her in her sleep against her will. That's what I remember about the original story.
Character whose skin is not white as snow.
Thankfully, in Disney, I believe she's a consenting adult. I believe.
How does that make sense?
Or actually, she can't be consenting because I get, okay, if the only way to wake her up is a kiss, then yeah, sure. Like, that's just basic common sense. But it's kind of fucked up that you would make the method, because you're making up this story, so it's kind of fucked up that you would make the method a kiss. She didn't consent to a kiss. She can't consent to a kiss. But you're telling this guy, well, the only way to wake, what if it were like a booby touch? You know? That'd be kind of fucked up, wouldn't it? Well, you have to touch her boob, you see. If you do not touch the maiden's boob, then she will not wake up, you noob. There you go. Like, yeah, that would be fucked up. Like, that'd just be a fucked up thing to write. What, because it's a kiss, now it's fine? No, that's not cute. That's non-consent. That's a non-consent, like story. It's fine as a fantasy. If that's your fantasy, that's fine. I'm not here to kink shame you. But, like, as a children's story, a little fucked up. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing, is there's princesses she could have played, but Snow White, why? I don't know. I mean, casting realistic.
Who cares?
casting accurate portrayals just isn't the thing anymore, apparently. So Rachel Zegler has spoken out. I know she also was saying that she was taken out of context when she was talking about the prince being weird. She's like, weird. That famous interview where she's throwing shade at the original Snow White,
Yes.
the classic that put Disney on the map, essentially. Throwing shade at that,
weird.
acting like there was something wrong with the Disney prince. He was weird.
No, the story itself was weird. This isn't a matter of the prince having any say in this. Although I will say whoever wrote it clearly self-inserted, but that's beside the point. Taking the story at face value, it's not really the prince's fault. That's just a way to wake her up. That's what he was told. That's what he's going to do. Okay? It's just up that that's the world he lives in. The person who wrote that is up. For calling it a children's story,
that was just a joke, she says. A year and a half later.
It's not a children's story. It's a fantasy. It's
not when she was actually getting the backlash.
Fantasy.
Okay, so actress Rachel Zegler confirmed that the
masked racism, she's not even really, I don't know if there's much of a mask.
Upcoming Disney live action Snow White film will change the origin of Snow White's name. In Disney's original 1937 film, Snow White's name was due to her skin color. A storybook opens and reads, "Each day, the vain queen consulted her magic mirror. Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" And as the mirror answered, "You're the fairest one of all." Snow White was safe from the queen's cruel jealousy. The film then transitions to the evil queen asking the magic mirror, "Who is the fairest one of all?" But instead of answering that the queen is the fairest, it informs her, "Famed is thy beauty, majesty, but hold, a lovely maid I see. Rags cannot hide her gentle grace. Alas, she is more fair than thee." When the queen instructs the mirror to name the person, the mirror replied, "Lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow." The queen then says,
"I don't care.
Snow White."
Retcon it.
That gave it away. That's how she knew. She's like, wait a minute. I know a girl with black hair and red lips and white skin.
It's just, I don't care that much. Why do you care enough to make a 15-minute video out of it? Who gives a shit? Like, they're not taking out anything important from the story.
An interview with Variety, Zegler revealed that Snow White's name is not due to her skin tone.
There you go.
Obviously. Because you can't. So it's like, okay, we're going to put her in this. We're going to change.
Her last name can literally just be White. Just call her Snow White, okay? Or does she have like a different name? Is that like her pseudonym? Or is she called Snow White? Like her first name Snow, last name White. Like Mr. White. She's Mrs. White.
It's the entire premise of the story.
Mr. White.
Like, if you're going to make a movie and a story and you don't actually want to stick with the story and you're going to change it all because of who you casted.
Well, they changed it all.
That's weird.
I mean her skin color.
If you want to talk about that.
By everything, I mean her skin color. Because skin color is everything to me. Because I'm Melonie Mac and I'm a piece of shit.
Okay. So she shared, "It fell back to another version of Snow White that was told in history where she survived a snowstorm." Her name's Snow White because she survived a snowstorm, y'all. Oh my.
Okay.
That occurred when she was a baby. And so the king and queen decided to name her Snow White to remind her of her resilience.
It's called a retcon. Who gives a shit? Who cares? People like modify stories all the time. Like, honestly, who cares? It doesn't change the core story. There's still 7 dwarves there. Okay, and she's going to get non-consensually kissed. That's the story, right? As long as those things happen, get the dwarves, the non-consent kiss, you're good.
So they gotta go with the whole, oh, she's a fighter. Snow White's a fighter. I don't know why they keep with modern depictions of this. Snow White was a very soft, sweet, gentle, feminine, go into a stranger's house and clean it type character. That was just so charming about her. But instead, they just, for some reason, don't want to have a gentle, sweet, soft-spoken, soft-demeanored woman. anymore. She's
Pinocchio is hanged in the original books, but in the original books. Yeah, let's put that in a kids movie. They retconned it because they wanted to adapt it for children. They did the same thing with One Piece, okay? And yeah, people bitched about it. But they bitched about it because you're completely changing the story, you know? One Piece was not meant for children. Snow White, in its current iteration, is.
gotta be
For some
a
reason.
fighter.
I still don't disagree with that.
And
but
she
hey,
survived a snowstorm. I'm not. Oh,
maybe in this version it'll be established that they're fine with kissing each other. That'd be a good fix, you know? Okay, so they're already, I just fix the story like this. She's already in love with him. He is already aware that she consents to a kiss, okay? Maybe they were like leaning in for it. It almost happened, but not quite. You know, like she demonstrated consent. She is fine with being kissed. That would make it a million times better. Yeah, retcon it.
oh, this is from an old tale, an old version where they.
I think basing things off people's skin color is
I
weird.
never heard of that
Retcon
in
it
my
for
life.
children.
This is the first time. Zegler added, one of the core points in our film for any young woman or young person is remembering how strong you actually are. Notice they say you.
Great. Guess what? It's a children's story. That's a good message for children. Shut the up.
Any young woman or young person instead of or young man, because I mean she's got to accommodate all.
Because she's a young woman. Snow White is a young woman. That's who she's representing first and foremost. Okay? But technically anybody could identify with her. Okay? Yeah, I would personally prefer people just say person for everybody. I agree with you, Melonie Mac. I am also a gender abolitionist.
Of the
But that's not the society we live in.
genders. Not only did Zegler
800
confirm that
genders.
Disney's live action is changing the origin of Snow White's name, but she also addressed the backlash she received regarding her numerous comments made at D23 back in.
Gonna say it, if Melonie Mac were a dude, I don't know if she'd have any followers. I'm saying it. You know what? Burn me at the stake. Burn me at the stake for this hot take, fellas. If Melonie Mac were a dude, she would not have a single follower. If she were some look like me, she would not have a single solitary follower. None, not a zilch. She is not interesting. She is not funny. She's not even like that edgy. She's just nothing. She's a big pile of nothing stuffed into a woman's body that gooners can goon to. Okay, and not feel bad about it because she's actually the base one. All right? That's your audience. Congratulations, you've built a pile of shit.
In 2022, that revealed how Disney was seemingly changing the entire movie altogether. For example,
her fan base is a
Zegler
pile of
insulted
shit.
and derided anyone who had any affinity to the original
The
film.
only
telling
reason
Extra
I can
TV
see people actually
the original
liking her.
cartoon came out in 1937 and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird, weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Kind of Messenger's take? Good.
Okay, now she's going to pretend like that was all just a joke all this time later. After being asked about the prince, she said, we have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, a great dude. So are they not going to do a love story? That was a charm of a lot of these princess movies. They had like a really.
Okay, when you are designing something for children, sometimes you will retcon some things to make it more catering toward our current understanding of what children can like and appreciate and derive some kind of meaning from. Okay? Romantic relationships is not really something that like I want children obsessing over or like I don't know, like it's weird. It's weird. Like you can retcon that. That's fine, you know? Like there's enough heterosexual content out there. It's fine. Retcon it. Who cares? It's a net good.
Really
just take the
wholesome and
sexuality
sweet
out.
love story, but
That's
for
fine.
some reason they don't want to do that anymore. Probably because it's straight and they don't like straight love
There it
stories
is.
anymore.
The straights are under attack. Yes, true. The straights are under attack.
She continued, it's one of those things that I think
It's a straight oppression.
everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get.
Dog, how cool would it be if she were a lesbian? Oh, the tears it would let me consume. Oh, if Snow White were a lesbian, oh my God, I would shed tears of joy myself. Oh my God, it would be nuts. So please woke Disney, please pray to the woke gods, everybody, of which there are several, because we're polytheistic, because we're woke.
It's Hollywood, baby. It's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self. What is she gonna, in the movie, calling herself they, them? And she meets a lot of people along the way that make the journey really incredible. She concludes.
I told a friend in college that I prefer when she wears t-shirts because I can focus on talking to her more because she was an 11. I'm sorry, that's a skill issue, man. You got to get over it.
She made similar comments to Variety. I just mean, it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. Wonder Woman actress Gal Gadot, who is playing the evil queen, then asserted she's not going to be saved by the prince. No, can't have that. Can't have men being heroic and strong.
Yeah.
Not in modern.
Yeah, not enough stories about men being heroic and strong in modern media. I agree. True. That never happens. We don't have anything like that.
That's the thing that I don't get, is like, women like that. So who are you trying to appeal to in this?
Not all women not all the
like
time.
That. Who doesn't?
Some women want a strong lesbian to save them, okay? Myself included. Not for any sexual reason, just because I feel like I'd be safe in her loving arms. That's it, okay? That's it. That'd be fine. Sometimes some people want somebody else to save them, or nobody to save them. Maybe they can save themselves. You know, maybe they didn't ask for help, right? Who cares? There's enough stories out there about men being manly or whatever. There's plenty of that. Shut the f*** up.
They like a strong, heroic man to save the day. Come on. You know, this isn't something like Tomb Raider. Obviously, in Tomb Raider, you want Lara Croft to do everything. I mean,
we
but
talked
she's
about
this
that.
like, you know, I mean, modern Tomb Raider is different, but classic Tomb Raider, you've got this like statuesque, you know, muscular, strong, like femininely
pointy tits.
muscular, strong, Amazonian type, you know, power fantasy female lead.
Wait, that other guy was complaining about Lara Croft having like broad shoulders and muscles. Which is it? They're not even consistent within themselves. Like that guy. Oh, that guy actually mentioned Melonie Mac. I remember. He's like a Melonie Mac simp. And he mentioned like Laura. Like they disagree on this. He'd probably like fold and be like, "Oh yeah, actually, Lara Croft did have broad shoulders and muscles, and anything for you, my queen. Of course you're correct, my queen, Melonie Mac, queen."
Very hyper feminine though. So yeah, obviously in a story like that,
guy's name was.
You know, she doesn't like, she's psychopathic, or more like sociopathic, to where she just lives for the adrenaline rush of adventure, right? So in a story like that, where she just, you know, gave up.
Wait, what?
You know, she doesn't. Like, she's psychopathic, or more like sociopathic, to where she just lives for the adrenaline rush of adventure.
What? That's like the basis of every shonen anime. Living for the adrenaline rush of adventure. That's like word for word what like happens in like every shonen anime. That's fine. To live for the adrenaline rush of adventure. That's a great way to live life. Dude, the way that I live my life is so boring compared to like somebody who would live for the adrenaline rush of adventure. Holy shit. There are people out there scuba diving, finding out what's underneath our oceans. There's people out there skydiving from the goddamn clouds and down. There's people doing stunts on motorcycles over cliffs. Like, yeah, if you want to live that way, go off. It's a little dangerous, but go off. It's great. That's a great way to live life. Who cares? That's not psychopathic.
But a story like that, where she just, you know, gave up romantic relationships because she is so obsessed with a crazy, dangerous lifestyle. This is different. I mean, come on. It's Snow White, for crying out loud. So Zegler concurred.
I don't care. Let them
she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. That's the thing, is love is a beautiful thing, and for some reason, it's been so contaminated and so degenerized, if that's even a word, and
Dude.
perverted in modern day media, where you have
Degenerized.
all of this. Man, society has just gotten really gross. Society has strayed from the Bible and God's order of
this
a man
is just
and a woman
Nazi shit.
falling in love, getting
You're
married,
just a
and that being a beautiful
Nazi.
thing. But now it's any type of romance and stuff. They want to add all the
Dude, if she watches this, which if you are watching, f you, but if you're watching this, yes, you're a Nazi, and you're gonna come at me and be like, oh, well, I'm not, the left always calls anybody a Nazi. What, I say that there are degenerates in society, and suddenly I'm called a Nazi? Well, hoity-toity me, what? You draw one you got one swastika tattoo. She doesn't have a swastika tattoo, but I wouldn't put it past her. Like, literally, but that's the level we're operating on. Like, this is Nazi rhetoric. Yeah, religious fascist. That's Nazi rhetoric, dude. That's disgusting. So yeah, I'm gonna call you a Nazi because that's the language you're invoking. It's gross.
The gay stuff. They want to add
See the gay stuff?
Just make it gross, where everything is yeah, just not the actual biblical.
Which, by the way, this has not mentioned anything gay yet, okay? Until I see the 7 dwarves in a polyamorous gay relationship, like, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Definition of love. So, they don't like a
That's
story
an easy
like
clap
this
right there.
that is wholesome.
If they wanted to add something
In
gay,
that case. So she's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. Why does every woman have to be a leader? I don't know. The leader that her late father told her.
who's the top? Whoever acts the most shy around other people.
And again, that's another obsession.
Always.
For some reason. It's like
The most quiet.
Because I mean, typically in a lot of cases, you see like a son take the helm from, his father in a lot of ways. I mean, not all the time, obviously, but there are that is a typical thing. But so they gotta just be like, trope, now it's the girl who takes her father's lead. And that's what they did with the rebooted version of Tomb Raider, which wasn't original canon. In original canon, her parents disowned her. Her dad was not an archaeologist or an adventurer or anything like that. But for some reason, now they want to do that.
Imagine not having any real problems like this bitch. Imagine. Like, she has so few problems in her life that this is what she's concerned with. I'm just throwing that out there.
Look at like Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, in their newer version of that. It's like, oh, now Sabrina is following her dad's footsteps. And now you got Rachel Zegler and Snow White following her father's footsteps. What is with that? I don't know. Like, okay. Her father told her that she could be, if she was fearless, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think,
what
young
horrible
people
things.
everywhere to see themselves.
It's a kid's story.
Concluded. To Entertainment Weekly, Zegler stated, the reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated. So a lot of you guys know she was like hating on it. She hated how dated it was.
Yeah, and they're talking about how, like, oh, her skin's whiter than you, and that's somehow better. That's a bad message. That's a negative message to send to children. That's bad. Beauty based on skin color. Even you'd agree with that, I'm sure. Okay? I'm just throwing that out there.
And so now she's addressing the backlash and snide and disrespectful comments, playing victim, telling Variety. In all honesty, it made me sad.
It's like, well, that's how we knew that she was prettier than the queen, though, is because her skin was whiter. Yeah, maybe get rid of that. Maybe that's a little antiquated. Maybe really drive the point home by making sure that she's actually not that white. Like, yeah, that's fine. I say that's fine. Yeah, literally, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
That it was taken in such a way because I believe that women can do anything. But I also believe they can do everything. She can do, okay.
Little liberal, little Libby.
There's a lot of jobs out there I want to see if women can do, because I don't think that's possible.
Wait, what?
Women can do, because I don't think
like
that's
what?
possible.
Like what?
You want women in the coal mines?
Today, women comprise approximately 10 to 17% of the total mining workforce. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, who cares?
The oil rigs. Which, granted, I think I did
Yes.
see one woman doing that. But
Yeah. Because women are capable of doing that shit. Yeah. Women statistically are shorter, so they'd probably have an easier time mining. In some ways, sure. Like, everybody has their, like, there are natural things that happen to women that don't happen, you know, if you're a cis woman or a cis man. Speaking in cis terms, sorry. That happen to cis women and happen to cis men. They diverge into two different directions of sexuality. I can recognize that. And typically, testosterone gives you more endurance, more athletic ability, things like that. I can recognize that. But you can still be a woman and still be like capable of doing the same things that like a man can, even physically. Yeah, I believe that's possible, especially in a context of like a non-competitive workplace, you know, like just doing a job. Yeah, like as far as competition goes, it gets a little more complicated. But in terms of like doing a job, yeah, women can be just as capable as men in any job. Period. End of story.
she was a husky woman. That's definitely not common. Okay. I mean, if we're really being real, men built society. If it wasn't for men and everything was just a female society, we would not be where we are right now.
Cuck. That's a cuck. That's a cuck move. You're a cuck, okay? You are a female cuck. Like, no doubt about it. Like, you would watch your man fuck another woman. Like, you're a cuck.
She continued, I would never want to box someone
And be fine
in
with it.
and say, if you want love, then you can't work. Or if you want to work, then you can't have a family. It's not true. It's
It's fine if you want to watch your man fuck another woman. I'm just saying, spiritually, she's a cuck.
never been true. What does this have to do with anything she said? That's not even what she... Did she just pull the Camelot? I was born in a middle-class family. Because that's not even related. Okay. What? Nobody is saying women can't work. If they want to work, they can work. Who said they can't work?
You did just now. You just said that women can't have the same jobs as men. You're like, you want to see women be coal miners? You did that. What? You just did that.
Where?
Yeah, men built society because women didn't have rights. Exactly, Guitar Rocker. Women didn't even have the opportunity
so
to.
Rachel Zegler was born in a middle-class family.
And also, there are plenty of women who did help build society, okay? So I don't want to hear that shit.
Zegler then lied and said her comments were taken out of context and said that she was joking. It can be very upsetting when things get taken out of context or jokes don't land. That was not even a joke. And that's the thing, is she, right when the backlash was happening, she would have addressed it.
What did she say that was a joke? If you want to work, then you can't have a family. It's not true. It's never been true. The fact that she's not going to be saved by the prince is, and she's so the proactive one, and she's the one who says turns out what makes it so relevant about where we are today. Zegler addressed the backlash to these snide comment and disrespectful comments. Snide and disrespectful. But they weren't. This is a slanted article.
That's not even what she... Did she just pull the Camelot? I was born in a middle-class family. Because that's not even related. Okay.
What was snide and disrespectful?
Nobody is saying women can't work. If they want to work, they can work. Who said they can't work?
Again, you just did.
Okay, so Rachel Zegler was born in a middle-class family. Zegler then lied.
The Park Place is a right-wing news site. Clearly. She wasn't lying. She didn't say anything wrong.
Comments were taken out of context and said that she was joking. It can be very upsetting when things get taken out of context or jokes don't land. That was not even a joke. And that's the thing, is she, right when the backlash was happening, she would have addressed that and said, guys, it was a joke. But obviously that wasn't the case. She's just really trying to backtrack here. I can't believe they haven't canceled this project at this point. But that's going to be a colossal flop. Anyway, there you have it for...
I don't even disagree that it'll probably flop. Like, nobody asked for it, so I don't disagree with that. But it's not going to flop because it's woke or whatever. Like, you change the skin color of one character, and they're like, oh, it's going to flop now because Snow White's not white anymore, even though that was never really that important. Except for racist reasons, right? It's a kid's story. Yeah, retcon it.
For this video, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
God, she's so f***ing annoying. Ugh, just another day with Melonie Mac, folks. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.